Wait, if you found this video, it's not by mistake. You're not scrolling by accident. There's a reason your spirit stopped here. Because something's coming this Saturday. And if you're one of God's chosen ones, you're already feeling it. You don't need a calendar to sense that something is shifting. Your soul knows it. You've been sensing the pressure, the silence, the tension, and wondering, why now? This message is the answer to that quiet question you've been asking in the dark. God, is something about to happen? Yes, and this time, it's not going to be small. Something is unfolding that's bigger than what your eyes can see. You were meant to receive this word now, not earlier, not later, now. Divine timing is always perfect. If you're here, it's because God knew you'd be ready to hear this truth now. Let's talk about what really happens before a breakthrough. Everything starts to feel uncertain. You feel isolated. People you once relied on go silent. You question whether you're even on the right path. That's not a coincidence. It's spiritual resistance. The enemy always tries to wear you out right before God elevates you. You may have noticed more distractions lately, heavier emotions, strange delays, or even doors that seemed sure suddenly closing. All of that is not working against you. It's positioning you. This pressure is not punishment, it's preparation. When a diamond is about to emerge from coal, it's under the greatest pressure it has ever faced, and you, chosen one, are no different. You've been pressed, crushed in spirit, but not broken, and most importantly, not forgotten. Heaven has been watching you through it all, every act of faith, every moment you chose patience over reaction, every time you chose to be kind when bitterness would have been easier. That's what qualifies you now. This Saturday is going to mark something spiritual. You may not know what it is yet, but your soul will feel it. God often does his biggest moves in silence. He doesn't need to post it, prove it, or promote it. He just makes it happen. But you have to be in alignment. You have to remain open. When this moment comes, you'll know. You won't have to force anything. It will unfold in such a way that only God could get the glory for it. You are being repositioned for something that will make sense only in hindsight. You are being pulled out of cycles, released from burdens you carried that weren't even yours, healed from things you didn't know you were still holding on to. That's why it's been heavy. That's why the spiritual weight has felt unbearable at times. But through all of it, you didn't lose your faith. That's why heaven is responding now. Your obedience didn't go unnoticed. Your silence didn't go unseen. And your pain didn't go unfelt. You've been crying in secret, but God's been working in secret too. And soon, everything that's been happening behind the scenes will be brought to light. You'll understand the delays. You'll be grateful the doors didn't open when you begged them to. Because what God is about to do is going to eclipse what you thought you wanted. Take a breath. Slow down. You're not missing your blessing. It's coming right on time. And when it does, it will shift things faster than you thought possible. You'll begin to understand why the enemy tried so hard to distract you this week. Why your spirit's been restless. Why sleep hasn't been the same. Because your spirit already knows God is moving. You may not feel ready. You may still be wrestling with fear. That's okay. You don't have to have it all together. You just have to be willing. Willing to let go of control. Willing to trust what you can't yet see. Willing to receive. That's all God needs from you. If something inside you knows this message is for you, let it speak to you. Trust what you feel, not just what you see. This is your reminder that what's meant for you is already in motion. You don't need to chase it. You just need to align with it. You didn't survive everything just to stay the same. There's a reason you've been refined. There's a reason you've been hidden. Now is the reveal. Now is the shift. And this Saturday might just be the moment when everything changes. Don't miss it. Stay open. Stay present. Stay expectant. If this resonates with you, let it be known. Speak it in the comments. Declare your alignment. Don't just watch, respond. God honors bold faith. He honors voices that praise him before the blessing even arrives. If this word stirred something inside you, if it confirmed what your spirit has been sensing, don't stay silent. Say, I receive it, and watch how heaven moves. Share this message with someone you love, someone who's been silent, holding it together alone. Because this Saturday is bigger than just one person. It's a ripple that's about to hit everyone who's been obedient in the dark. You know what's wild about being chosen? Most of the time, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like being forgotten, like no one sees you, like your life has been one test after another with no explanation. While others post their highlights, you sit in silence, wondering why your obedience hasn't brought visibility. But listen, God hides his greatest treasures. He conceals what is sacred. And when you're hidden, it's because you're holy. You weren't meant to blend in. That's why the path has been so lonely. That's why people drifted away. That's why your journey didn't come with a crowd. And while your mind wanted comfort, your spirit was being trained in the wilderness. Chosen ones don't get shortcuts. They get refined by fire. And when they come out, they're not the same. This moment in your life, it's not random. You're not here by accident. You've been pulled away from noise, distractions, and even people you once leaned on because your calling is getting louder than your comfort zone. You're being stripped of what doesn't serve your next level. And yes, it's painful. Yes, it's confusing. But when the soul outgrows a space, everything around you starts to shift. Some people won't understand what you're going through. They'll say you've changed, you're distant, you're different, but that's because you are. Your spiritual DNA is upgrading. Your discernment is sharper. What used to satisfy you no longer feeds you. That's not you being broken. That's you being awakened. And here's the deeper truth. God is rewiring how you see yourself. You've been carrying trauma so long, you started calling it personality. You got used to shrinking yourself to survive. You were taught to be quiet, to be small, to not shine too brightly. But that's not who you are. That was survival mode. And now, that version of you is expiring. God is calling you out of hiding. You're being prepared to stand tall, to speak with boldness, to walk like you know you belong. And not because of ego, but because of purpose. You were never meant to live on the sidelines, but you had to go through everything you did so that when God lifts you up, you'll know how to carry the weight with humility. You'll notice something strange happening now. The things that used to shake you don't. The people who used to drain you can't. And the wounds that once owned you feel distant. That's not a coincidence. That's spiritual maturity. You're not just waiting on the blessing anymore. You are the blessing. You've been planted, not buried. This is your season of becoming. And yes, it still comes with warfare. The enemy doesn't attack what's not a threat. So if you felt more spiritual pressure lately, if you've had attacks in your sleep, if old temptations and toxic connections are suddenly reappearing, understand this clearly. That's a distraction. It's the enemy's last attempt to knock you out before your release. Do not go back to what God delivered you from. You didn't survive all that pain just to relapse into old patterns. You've come too far. This next move is going to require a healed version of you. A version that trusts, even when it doesn't make sense. A version that doesn't chase, but attracts. A version that walks like they know heaven is backing every step. And yes, this kind of obedience is hard. It means letting go of the old blueprint. It means moving even when there's no map. It means trusting that your spirit knows what your eyes can't yet see. But if you lean in, if you trust it, if you stay faithful, you will be undeniably rewarded. So ask yourself, am I willing to surrender what I thought life should look like in order to receive what God actually has for me? Because what's coming is better. You've been through enough. You've questioned your worth. You've begged heaven for a sign. You've sat in rooms full of people and still felt completely alone. And yet, you're still here. You're still breathing. You're still showing up when it would have been easier to quit. That's not weakness. That's divine strength. That's what makes you chosen. And if no one has told you lately, you've made it through the worst part. The silence was part of the assignment. The delay was protection. The isolation wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Because the version of you that God is about to release into the world is dangerous to darkness. You carry light that exposes lies. You speak with a frequency that shakes foundations. You're not just a person anymore. You're a vessel. And here's the beautiful truth. You're about to understand why it all happened, not in some distant future. Now, doors are opening that no man can shut. Alignments are forming without your effort. People are watching, in awe, wondering how you're still standing. And that's when God shows up and says, because I chose them. This blessing that's coming, it's personal. It's not just for status. It's not just for show. It's the fulfillment of every